popped up when I tried to start the broadcast, saying that,
Wow.
well, you said you scheduled for another hour from now, but you're more than welcome to start early if you want, but do you really want to? Because you scheduled it for an hour from now. And yes, good morning, everybody. I am starting early because my gears are grinding. I am ticked off. I am angry. I am an old man yelling at the sky today because I've got a couple of things I want to scream about. And this swap is first and foremost. So it wasn't until a half hour ago when I saw that CNN report pop up on my screen. By the way, good morning, Dar.
Good morning. Ahoy. How's everybody? Where's all my scallywags at?
This is something else. Unfreaking believable. All right. Before I get started, what do you think about swapping Brittany Griner? Let me pull up the CNN report here. Where did the CNN report go?
Yeah, go ahead, pull up all you want. I thought it was probably the worst trade ever made because, we had other people sitting out there that needed to be saved as well, and they were not. And plus, we're giving up a guy who has funded civil wars and other things throughout the world for a basketball player.
WNBA star Brittany Griner released from Russian detention and prisoner swap for convicted arms dealer.
And I'm sure all 5 of the people who watch the WNBA are really glad that she's free.
Brittany Griner's release in a prisoner swap for convicted Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. Bout, nicknamed the Merchant of Death, is a former Soviet military officer serving a 25-year prison sentence on charges of conspiring to kill Americans, acquiring and export anti-aircraft missiles, and provide material support to a terrorist organization. Now, poor old Brittany Griner, poor little lesbian black basketball player who plays basketball in Russia during her off season from playing for the WNBA. So she's played there before. She knows their laws. She knows that she can't take marijuana into the country. Decides she's going to take marijuana into the country. Marijuana essence for her vape pen. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's still marijuana, you dumb bitch. And you don't take it into a country with laws as strict as Russia. You don't, you're lucky you didn't take that into some other countries where they kill your ass. There's no question about it. Oh, you brought in drugs? Fine. Out behind the building, you die. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. But because she fills oppression points, she gets special treatment here, and they swap her for a guy that tried to kill American citizens and supplying arms to a terrorist organization. Okay, now this is CNN's Who is Victor Bout. This is what they say about him. All right. Bout has been an international arms trafficking enemy, #1 for many years, arming some of the most violent conflicts around the world. Let's see here.
Say, come on, chair.
Okay. Let me drop this one. Stop sharing that screen and bring up this one. Because going over to Wikipedia. Wikipedia is good for some things. All right. Uses multiple air transport companies to smuggle weapons since the collapse of the Soviet Union from Eastern Europe to Africa and the Middle East during the 1990s and early 2000s. Gained the nicknames Merchant of Death and Sanctions Buster after Peter Hain of the British Foreign Office read a report to the United Nations in 2003 about Bout's wide-reaching operations, clientele, and willingness to bypass embargoes. In a U.S. sting operation, Bout was arrested in 2008 in Thailand on terrorism charges by the Royal Thai Police in cooperation with American authorities and Interpol. The American ambassador to Thailand requested his extradition under the treaty, which Bout was accused of intending to smuggle arms to a U.S. DEA informer pretending to represent the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia for use against U.S. forces in Colombia. He was convicted and sentenced to 25 years imprisonment because the crime was due to a sting operation. This man was wanting to supply weapons to kill Americans. Think about it. And it's not because he held a grudge against Americans. It's not because he was a freedom fighter. It's not because we were at war with him in his country, but for money. Just for money.
Yeah, money and power. So, but you notice there, so this is like a total slap in the face to all those agents that did all that work to do that sting operation to bring this guy down. This is just a total slap in the face. And, you know, you got to imagine that they're not happy.
Yeah, good morning, Pat. Yeah, I heard about this. First thing that popped up on my computer when I booted it this morning was this. Morning, Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, so we have all the cool kids here. Well, not all of them, but most. We got some cool kids here.
And Pat, I'm glad to thank you for coming and joining me, man. I appreciate it. Man, I'm getting some cool kids popping in now, and I got Pat showing up.
Yeah, well, see, you know, here's the thing. You know, Pat's good people. He's a pretty good guy considering he's Army.
And I like his streams.
He'll love his streams. And I like his "It's me, Patrick's" and his opinions too. Those videos crack me up.
Why? There are other Americans who are being held in Russia for much longer.
Yeah,
than Brittany Griner's been there. Brittany Griner was released because she is a black female lesbian basketball player.
Yeah, that's the only reason. And, you know, in the Biden administration, because let's face it, he has like really low popularity and everything. So, you know, anything that he can do to boost his cred and get people to like him. Because, you know, for next 2 weeks, we're going to hear nothing. And, you know, CNN and all those are going to be saying what a great deal he made and how, you know, brave and stunning Griner is and all that. Mark my words. You'll see it.
Oh, yeah. This is... I'm absolutely... There's nothing there that can help me out on this right now. There's absolutely nothing that can make me think that this administration gives a damn about American citizens now. There's just nothing out there.
No. To me, this looks more like a confirmation that he does not like us.
It's like yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? He's within 100 miles of the southern border.
Yeah.
Within 100 miles of the southern border, he gets asked if he's going to go down there to see what's going on at the border, the mass invasion we have. And his response, nah, I got more important things to do.
Yep.
What is more important than what's happening at our southern border right now? But I've got more to say about that later on.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to mind that we're being invaded.
This mess with Griner. What does this tell the rest of the world? What does this tell? This guy is going to go back, and within days, he's going to be right back to selling arms to kill citizens of other countries. And most likely American citizens. Because now he has a bone to pick, a personal bone to pick with America.
Okay, so you're not even thinking. All right, so here's what it says to the rest of the world. Go grab an American citizen, put them in jail. You can get out. You can get your people back who committed heinous crimes in America. So what this tells me...
No, it's got to be the right American citizen. It can't be just any American citizen.
Right.
It's got to be somebody, it's got to be an American citizen that ticks the right oppression boxes.
Okay, so...
I mean, you can hijack all the white men you want to hijack.
Right.
They ain't going to do damn squat about it.
But, so the other thing that this tells me, not just, what it tells the rest of the world is, it tells the rest of the world that, anytime any of our sports teams or anything, any of our high profile people visit your country, just arrest them. Now, what this tells me personally is this is a really bad time to travel to other countries.
Oh, definitely.
Because you have a really good chance. And remember, not every country is going to understand that, the oppression scale, and you have to grab the right American on that's at the right level of the oppression scale and all that. So a lot of countries are just going to take this as arrest American citizens, try to make a deal to get your bad guys back. So what that should tell all of us is to stay the fuck out of foreign countries.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go. You definitely don't want to go to anywhere in the Middle East. You don't want to go to anywhere in the Southeast.
Nope.
You don't want to go to Eastern Europe or Western Europe. Eastern Europe. You don't want to go, and especially anywhere near Russia. You don't, or any country under the Russian umbrella there. Okay, you don't want to travel through them. Don't want to go through Turkey. There are some South American countries. I wouldn't go anywhere south. There's no South American, Latin, or Central or Southern American country I'd go to right now. No way. I wouldn't even go to Mexico. Yeah, screw the East, man. You can't go anywhere. Americans, especially if you are a black lesbian, if you're a gay man, if you're a drag, a trans, if you feel any of these oppression points that makes you feel like you're so special in the United States, and if you've got your name out there in any way, shape, and or form as being, a influencer of any kind, where you have a few thousand or a million backers, then you're going to be a prime target.
Yes, you are.
Morning, Spoonie. Morning, Neil.
See, all this kind of shit does is just makes Americans targets overseas. That's all it does. And I don't really give a crap if, about the old oppression scale and all that, because overseas, all this does is make Americans targets. It's just like the Bo Bergdahl thing, right? All that did was make Americans targets overseas.
That man should have been buried under a damn prison. He should, if not shot on sight, he should have been buried under Leavenworth and fed with a 10-foot pole through a trap door.
Oh, most deaf.
But you're and this, like I said, this guy is going to go right back. He still has his operations in place. It may take him a couple of weeks. It may take him a couple of months. But now he has got a personal grudge against the United States. He's got personal grudge against Americans. And he knows that with our open borders, how he can get weapons and people into this country to kill Americans. And it's going to happen. It is going to happen.
Well, it's going to happen. It's going to start sooner than you think.
I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen within the next 6 months.
Yeah, I would too.
No. I mean, he's been in prison a while, so what's he going to do? He's going to go out, he's going to get drunk, he's going to get laid. He's going to take care of a few physical pleasures here for a while, get high. And then he's going to start putting plans into effect to get payback. This makes a script for one of the worst Hollywood movies you could possibly make. Think about it. Some guy gets out of jail who feels he's been wrongly imprisoned, and he's got the tentacles to reach out there and get revenge. And he's going to do it. The only problem is we don't have a Rambo. We don't have a John Clark. We don't have a Schwarzenegger. We don't have these people in real life who's going to come in at the last minute and save the day.
No.
Americans are going to die as a result of this. Americans are going to die. Americans are going to be killed as a result of this. This isn't a movie. This isn't a book written by John Grisham. It's not any of this stuff. This is real life. And there are going to be real life repercussions to this. This isn't a happy ending right now.
No, it's not even close to a happy ending.
This doesn't end now. There's going to be repercussions for this for years down the road. And it's all going to fall back on this administration. The Biden and Kamala and the Democratic Party is going to need to be held accountable for this. They cannot be left as untouched as what happens as the result of this. Yep, Neil, that's that Bergdahl. I don't even like saying his name correctly. I just want to I just want to call him that piece of shit that needs to be. There should have been a put
Traitor
before a
boy.
firing squad.
Yeah. Yep. Who walked away and tried to join the other side. Deserter boy.
And walked away while he was on guard duty.
Yeah.
He was on guard duty. He could have his walking away from that post could have resulted in his people, his
Well,
the
he could have
people
spent
that
some serious
depended
time in
on him to
Leavenworth.
keep them safe could have ended up having them killed.
Yep. Yeah, see, walking away while you're on guard duty is a serious crime. People don't realize how serious that is. And, you know, that can end you up some quality time in Leavenworth.
No, that should have been firing squad. That right then and there on the battlefield.
Yeah, but, you know, that's not going to happen. So, I mean, who's the last person killed by firing squad?
I don't know. But
I believe it was during Vietnam, 1972 or 74.
Execution by firing squad. When was the last one? Last used in America. Let's see here. 1944. Eddie Slovak.
Yep, Eddie Slovak. Yep, that's the guy I was thinking of. I didn't realize it was 44. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Utah is
That's
still
it.
the only state that does execution by firing squad.
Yeah. Go Utah.
Yep. So, yeah, it's been too long since we've had military executions by firing squad. But anyway, I'm just going to start repeating myself now about this here. We need to make certain that this administration and the Democratic Party is held accountable for this. Schumer, Pelosi, the Democratic leadership should have stopped this. You know,
Yeah.
Biden and the State Department and the rest of these people all got together. This was an agreed upon thing. No, does it suck that she spent so much, that she was sentenced to so many years in prison? Yes, that sucks.
Yeah.
For what we consider a trivial crime. All right. But that is what we consider a trivial crime. It's not our laws she violated, it's their laws.
Right. And so just because here in America we consider it trivial does not mean it's trivial elsewhere. Let me give you a perfect example of this, and I think a lot of people are going to be amazed, is that in the United States, DUI, right? That's a misdemeanor. Canada,
depending on about how far over you are, yes.
Well, no, even if you're way far over, it's still in the United States, it's still a misdemeanor. Now, in Canada, it's a felony.
Oh yeah, you can't go to Canada if you've ever been convicted of
Right.
a DUI.
If you've been convicted of a DUI, you can't cross into Canada because you're considered a felon in Canada. Other crimes that are considered, same way. So now in Mexico, if you cause or a wreck in your car in the United States, that's a misdemeanor. It's not a misdemeanor in Mexico. And
if you're caught in Mexico with one bullet in your car, in your suitcase, anywhere,
Yep.
That's 5 years in prison.
Yeah, if you're a foreigner, yes, that is correct.
and you don't have the proper permits in advance.
Yep.
And how do we know about this? Because we had an American in Mexican jail
Yep.
for that.
A Marine who went down the border. He goes, look, I got a gun and stuff in the back of my truck. Can I come up here, turn around, and head back? They said, yep. As soon as he got on the other side of the border, they arrested him.
And the Obama administration did nothing to get him returned.
Not a thing. But they sure as hell traded away those bad guys for Deserter Boy.
That's right.
That's going to be his new name from now on. We're just going to call him Deserter Boy.
And let's see,
I like
who was it? Who was it that got him back? I'm trying to remember.
It was a California guy. It was Duke Cunningham.
Right. But yeah, there was. I mean, the American government did nothing to get him back. The
Nope.
Obama administration did nothing to get him back. But a basketball player, we trade an arms dealer who tried to kill Americans.
Do you realize? Do you have any concept of how much money, time, effort was used to set up that sting operation to catch that guy?
Oh yeah, because that was an international. I mean,
Yeah. So
that was an international cooperation. I mean, yeah, there was millions of dollars involved in that.
and we just gave him away for a basketball player.
It's
Come
politics.
on.
This is. I'm sorry, but this comes down to nothing but politics. They have traded
Oh, yeah.
American lives to get a bump on the political scale.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
They have traded American lives to get a political bump. I'll make a bet that they really wanted to get this done before November, before the November elections.
Yeah.
But yeah, this, I don't know what else I can say about it, people, without just going back, saying the same thing over and over and over again. Being a broken record.
Yeah.
American lives are going to be lost because of this.
Yeah. That's
Not
a
just
given.
okay, and there's going to be other lives lost from other countries also. There are going to be thousands of people who are going to die because Biden wanted a basketball player out of a Russian jail. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people are going to die, be maimed, be disfigured because of a basketball player. Think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where we need a Mitch Rapp. And if anybody's read a certain series of books, you'll know what I mean by Mitch Rapp. It's a shame I'm going. This is a bad. If this was a movie script or the basis for a book, it would get panned as never happening. That the United States government would never do something this stupid. That'd be a Class B movie at best.
Oh yeah, it would be a bad movie.
It would be a bad movie. It would be, one of these, the Schwarzenegger Stallone movies that they pumped out so back to back to back in the 80s. Yeah, well, exactly, Duck Dog. And because she was wanting to smuggle marijuana, THC, into a country that she knew because she'd been there before. It's not like it was her first trip into a country she knew it was illegal to have it.
Yep.
And see, this is why my wife told me I needed to start streaming. She got tired of hearing me do this, to say this kind of stuff to her, and her being the only person hearing it. This is why she's glad I'm streaming now while she's at work, because she doesn't have to hear how upset I get over this kind of crap. Because really, there's nothing I can do. I am an old man sitting here shaking my fist and yelling at the sky over something I've got no control over.
Yeah, but you got to vent somewhere.
And I know this is wrong. You know this is wrong.
Everybody knows.
99% of this country would know that this is wrong. It is the people who put their oppression points, their little, if this had been a white straight man, he'd be sitting his ass in jail and they'd be saying, oh, well, you broke the law.
Yep.
That's all we've got men sitting in Russian prisons right now that are dying that should have been released. They didn't even, if you're going to release an arms dealer, at least get 2 or 3 of our people out of Russian jails. Don't stop with just one. Don't stop with just the black, with the basketball player. Get the other people out of jail too. Get all of our people back out of the prisons. Don't stop at just one. If Russia wants this arms dealer back so badly, get some more people out. Don't stop at the one person.
That's right. Get a few.
The Biden administration can't even wheel and deal correctly. They don't even know how to negotiate.
Well, they weren't even trying. They just wanted to get this one person back so they could score some points with the right crowd. That's all it was about. It was purely political. If they were really trying to do something, they would have. They weren't trying to wheel and deal. This whole thing of, of course, you're going to hear on media about how good a job they did at wheeling and dealing, but they weren't even trying to wheel and deal. I mean, that much is obvious.
Oh, yeah. Sean, we just call him the traitor.
Yep. Traitor boy.
Yep.
He no longer has a real name. Yeah, we refuse to acknowledge his existence.
Let's see. I'm looking to see if they've got... I love this. The joint statement issued by Saudi Arabian and the UAE ministries affirm the success of mediation efforts is a reflection of the mutual and solid friendship that connects both countries with the United States of America and the Russian Federation. The prisoner exchange was completed successfully at Abu Dhabi Airport on Thursday, the Russian Foreign Ministry said. U.S. President Joe Biden expressed his gratitude Thursday to the UAE for its role in the swap. The U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, piece of asshole shit faced waste of human flesh. I'm sorry, that part wasn't in the article. Praised the
Yeah.
release of Brittany Griner from the Russian detention and said the administration will continue efforts to bring Paul Whelan and other detainees back to the U.S. We will not relent in our efforts to bring Paul and all other U.S. nationals held hostage or wrongfully detained abroad home to their loved ones where they belong. Whelan, a U.S. citizen and former Marine who was arrested in 2018
Yep.
on espionage charges, which he is consistently and vehemently denied, is serving a 16-year prison sentence. This man has been in jail in Russia since 2018. CNN Van Jones on Griner's release. This is the result of a grassroots movement. Today is going to be a joyful moment for all the pain, all the criticisms, a joyful moment for Black women who led the movement to get one of their sisters home. This was a grassroots movement. They had to push to get male athletes, to get us to take it seriously, but they have triumphed, Jones told CNN. CNN Don's Lemon noted the significance of the moment for the LGBTQ community as members of the community face challenges in the U.S. and around the world. Jones said Griner represents everything in this country. She's female. She's LGBTQ. She's Black. And she is extraordinary. She's excellent. She's overcome. She's an icon. She's done everything you could do in her sport and more, and yet she still wasn't safe. We can't let it stand. Americans came together, and I think Biden and Kamala Harris, this is one of the things they'll be the most proud of. This is what's coming out of CNN right now.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Don Lemon is all about it. Huh?
And you thought I was joking when I was saying earlier. I hadn't read this article yet because this part of these articles are less than 18 minutes old.
Yep.
All right. 6 minutes ago, one of the articles I read was 6 minutes old. They're the ones making this about her being gay and lesbian, about her being Black, about her being a basketball player. And it's all about her, not the fact that she broke their goddamn laws.
Yep. She broke laws. And I mean, that's just, that's just ridiculous. You know, it's.
If this had been anybody else, they'd be sitting over there rotting their asses in jail like Paul Whelan and other Americans are. But the sole reason that they've released a man who has killed, wanted to kill, and will kill Americans in the future is because of a lesbian Black basketball player. I cannot say that enough. I cannot repeat that enough.
Yeah, it makes you feel safer, doesn't it?
This is just absolutely ridiculous. How can I want somebody to try to actually, I'd love to have somebody from this administration to try to explain to someone like me how putting American lives at risk, as they have now done. And there's only one reporter that I can think of that would actually ask the question, and that's Ducey.
Yep,
but
probably
put it
so.
before this administration. How can you justify releasing a arms dealer who has wanted to kill Americans for a basketball player. Put it just like that. Put it just like that. How can you even consider releasing somebody who has killed Americans, wanted to kill Americans, and will now have more of a reason to want to kill Americans because you wanted to get a black basketball player released? Are all the other American lives that has been and will be affected by this action worth having her released from a Russian prison early? I want somebody in this administration to answer that question. I want Joe Biden. I want Kamala Harris. I want Chuck Schumer. I want Nancy Pelosi. I want this Hakeem Jeffries. I want them to stand up and answer that question. But they're not even going to get asked it.
No, they're not.
They're not even going to get asked that question. But I want an answer to it. I'm sorry, I hadn't been paying attention to the chat. Let me read chat here real quick.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, Johnny, you're right. They are laughing at us.
Oh, they're more than laughing at us. Yeah, there you go. So the guy who got arrested in 2018 there, all he has to do is become trans and they'll go get him back.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They keep saying woman. I don't think they know what that word means. Yeah, Duck Dog. Nobody. This administration is willing to define woman most of the time.
Yeah, until it fits their narrative. You notice that?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what a woman is. I'm not a biologist, but wait. Women have abortions, so yeah, now I know that we gotta, be all for the women's because of abortion. Don't know what a woman is. Tell it fits our narrative. Oh, why? Pat was going to say something, but he retracted his message. Yeah, I wonder what he was going to say.
I don't know. He retracted. It's something about tap dancing.
Oh.
Can they tap dance any harder? Oh, Van Jones tap dance any harder? Yeah,
exactly.
Pat, do you want on? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, considering the subject matter, I think Pat is a good flow for this conversation.
All right, Pat, I just posted the link there in chat. Jump on if you want. You're more than welcome to. I'm sorry. I should have invited you on 20 minutes ago. When I get angry like this, though, I lose.
Oh, Pat's at work, so he can't jump on.
Oh, okay. All right, Pat. Well, hey, if you ever want to jump on, man, for whatever reason, whenever, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I had Pat on a Friday fun stream one time when you were undergoing your exile.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah, I had Pat, the Batman, and Mitch the Ripper. So, yeah, needless to say, it was a lot of fun. I didn't get to say much, but it was fun. Yeah, we turned it into the slasher stream.
Pat, have I missed anything? Have I missed anything in what I'm going here? Because you have to understand, I'm flying off the cuff here. Because, I haven't had time to think about this. This just hit this morning.
Yeah, no, this was, we did this very off the cuff. We went early just because there was a lot of venting that needed to be done. And
And I didn't want
Pat,
to do it all before the stream.
and yeah, exactly. And so Pat's comment here is he goes, I want to so bad, want to bad because y'all hit every point. Yeah, and exactly. And and I hope that we hit every point, and I hope that um, we've
and,
let you guys know just how serious this really is.
and the thing is,
And,
I don't want to make this sound as if I'm hating on Griner because of who and what she is. I couldn't give a tinker's damn about Brittany Griner as a person until she got arrested by the Russian police. I had no idea who in the hell she was. I
yep,
had no knowledge of her as an individual prior to that moment. And then, of course, Brittany Griner, WNBA star, going to Russia, arrested for smuggling drugs. Oh, well, you broke their law. You got to live with what they got to do. That was my initial impression, and then I forgot about it. I didn't give a tinker's damn about it. I don't care that she's black. I don't care that she's a lesbian. I really don't care that she travels to Russia to play basketball during the off season. None
yep,
of that matters to me. None of it. She's living her life. That's it. Her life don't affect me. Did not affect me. Up until this morning, her life did not affect me. Now, my life, my family's lives, my friends' lives, my fellow countrymen's lives have been put into danger for the next 40 to 50 years because of her actions. She has affected every American for the next 40 to 50 years.
yep,
Every American has now had their life put at risk because of her actions in smuggling THC laced vape juice into Russia. All right. You want to talk about butterfly effect? If you want, this is a serious example of the butterfly effect, or the pebble in the pond, the ripples.
yep, the ripples.
Okay. There's so many different things you could say how this, used to describe this. But her action, little action now, of wanting to smoke THC while in Russia has now blown up to such a point. That little thing, the cause and the effect of her wanting to do that has now put every American's life to risk.
Yep.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it now. Think about it. She is now responsible for every American whose life is taken by this son of a bitch, or the weapons this son of a bitch is going to put out, the weapons he's going to sell, the weapons he's going to smuggle into other countries, the weapons and the people he's going to attempt to smuggle into this country through our broken borders. This administration has now, through their inaction at the southern border and their actions in releasing this son of a bitch, has put every American at risk, at greater risk. than what we were yesterday, than what we were 5 hours ago.
Yep.
Morning, Ramen.
Oh, Ramen. Good morning.
No, we've been live now for 50 minutes, and I've been ranting about this for an hour and a half because I started long before I went live. I started screaming about this long before I went live. That's
true.
why we went live, because I was already yelling about it. So, and poor Dar, I keep cutting him off because another thought pops into my damn brain about how angry I am over this.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
And
I'm just along for the ride
I'm looking
anyway.
here, and I can't find a response from anybody in the Republican leadership. Let me take a look over here at Twitter and see if there's any responses here on the American leadership.
I don't think you're going to find anything.
All right, I'm not seeing. Okay, let me do this. Let me put hashtag Griner. GRI. It's probably under Brittany, right?
Probably. Who knows?
Okay, 500. Okay, let's see here. Oh my. Okay. Unbelievable.
What's going on now?
Okay. Oh. All right, never mind. I thought she had already tweeted. There for a second. What the hell? Look, okay. Moments ago, I spoke to Brittany Griner. She is safe. She's on a plane. She's on her way home. That's from Biden.
Yep.
Steven Crowder. Enough said. This has been the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals, maybe ever. Crowder. Enough said. Breaking news. Okay. No idea who Benny Johnson is. Meet Brittany Griner and Marine Paul Whelan, both Americans, both convicted Russian courts on dubious charges, both serving years. Brittany hates America. Paul served. Guess which one Biden traded a terrorist for? Very good. Well said there, Benny Johnson. CBS News, 1 for 1. Yes, okay. Pat, well said. Get ready for weeks of sport commentators constantly swooning over how brave Brittany was during this time. She's due to the shitty trade deal. ESPN. All right. Hillary Clinton. Incredibly good news. Thank you, President Biden, who made this happen, as well as the advocates who pushed for it. All right. Y'all, I want to use some language.
I triple dog dare you.
Colin Rudd, we just traded Merchant of Death, who sold another worst trade and deal. W Slam, no clue who W Slam is, but they're check mark. Okay. Oh, Anna Navarro, you can kiss my ass. Folks, if you're an American citizen, do not go to Russia. Gee whiz, yeah, as if we need to be told that. Putin is ruthless, capable of anything. Yes. Also, WNBA needs pay equity so U.S. athletes don't have to play in godforsaken countries with no rule law. The WNBA gets paid what they earn. Pay equity. The WNBA is not part of the NBA. You get paid what you earn. Anna Navarro, kiss my ever-loving ass.
Yeah.
And somebody else, some other person here complaining about the quote unquote shitty wages women pro ball players get compared to men. Well, if women earned the amount of money the men teams got,
Well,
then maybe
not
they'd
only
get
that,
paid more. Did you happen to think about that?
if they had the interest and sold the amount of tickets and all that other stuff. So it's not that they don't earn it. It's just that there's not enough interest right now.
Yeah, therefore they don't earn it. For whatever reason, they're not earning the money that the men's ball teams earn. But, you never hear about pay equity amongst models where women models, and male versus male models. You don't hear about that pay inequity. No. Good question, Tommy. I wonder if Brittany Griner will now sing and stand for the national anthem now that the United States has compromised national security to free her.
Yep. Yeah, Undead Ron makes an excellent point. She goes, "Why do I feel like this has been a setup all along?" And I'm not so sure setup as much as it's a political maneuver to boost Biden's numbers because everybody knows and Biden didn't come up with this on his own.
Do we want to listen to what Brittany's wife has to say?
Yeah, it's fully up to you. I'll listen, but
all right, let's listen to what she's got to say.
Thank you. So over the last 9 months, y'all have been so privy to one of the darkest moments of my life. And so today I'm just standing here overwhelmed with emotions, but the most important emotion that I have right now is just sincere gratitude for President Biden and his entire administration. He just mentioned this work is not easy, and it has not been. There's been so many hands involved. And so I'd like to take a moment to just specifically mention a few. Vice President Harris, Secretary Blinken, Jake Sullivan, Josh Geltzer from the National Security Council, Roger Cartson and Fletcher Schoen from the Hostage Envoy's Office. A special thank you to Governor Richardson and Mickey, the Mercury Players, the WNB PA for your advocacy. And also, you guys may not know this, but my family has been tremendously supported by the Wasserman Agency. BG's agent, Lindsay Colas, has just been amazing for me and my family throughout this process. So today my family is whole, but as you all are aware, there's so many other families who are not whole. And so BG's not here to say this, but I will gladly speak on her behalf and say that BG and I will remain committed to the work of getting every American home, including Paul, whose family is in our hearts today. As we celebrate BG being home, we do understand that there are still people out here who are enduring what I endured the last 9 months of missing tremendously their loved ones. So
9 months versus 4 years. Thank you, Biden.
Thank you, everybody,
for your
downplayed the whole. She kind of downplayed the whole thing of the other people and all that. And what a condescending little, sorry.
support. And today it's just a happy day for me and my family. So I'm going to smile right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh, okay. Alan West. Barack Obama released 5 senior Taliban leaders in prison in Gitmo for an armored deserter named Traitor. Biden releases his infamous merchant of death for Griner while U.S. Marines remain in prison. Yes. Well, at least there's one Republican saying something.
Well, yeah. And okay, so, all right. So you notice how they do this, so Obama releases 5 really bad terrorists for 1 deserter. And now Biden has released the merchant of death for a basketball player. And yet you notice how they preach to us about national security. How anybody that doesn't think the same way as the Democrats are a threat to national security. Well, if we thought like them, I think we'd be much bigger threats to national security. Just saying. I'm not calling them hypocrites, but I'm calling them hypocrites.
Okay, I'm not seeing nothing by Alan West is the only Republican I've seen that's actually spoken up here yet.
Yeah, well, very few people with any cojones out there.
I'm almost I was actually expecting something, but then I'm back 22 minutes. I was expecting at least something from Ted Cruz.
Yeah, kind of a thought.
Tim Cruz, Jordan, Matt Gaetz, MTG, because there's some of them out there that don't have any fear of speaking out. But I'm not seeing anything from them. All right, I've gone back 35 minutes. That's more than enough time for, Well, then again, they may have done something in that first hour as soon as it was released. But I'm not going to keep scrolling looking for them. Anyway. Well, Sean, she really didn't say anything too offensive.
No.
All right. She really didn't. And at least she had the good grace to mention Paul Whelan. And honestly, yes, I can understand her being overjoyed at her spouse being released. And, but when we consider this guy, Paul's been in a Russian prison now since 2018. 4 years going on to 5 years. And Griner's only been involved over there for 9 months. Where does this make sense, people? Where does this make sense? Oh, yeah. You know that she's probably already high. She's probably already been toking on something. as soon as she got out of wherever, Abu Dhabi airport, got on that plane, and all right. The thing is today was going to be a day for me to be a little ranty anyway, because I was planning on doing actually almost an entire hour's worth of congressional hearing today, which I'm not going to do because I don't feel like doing a 3-hour stream because I've already yelled my voice out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right, Sean. That's what I was saying. Is that they probably had some having some Willie's weed. He had some good stuff on that plane waiting on her.
Well, I'm sure.
So, and I want to see what she does do. I may actually pay attention to the first time she's back on a ball court and they play the national anthem, to see if she actually stands up for it or if she kneels again or turns her back or stays or comes into the stays back in the locker room until the national anthem is over with. Or do they even play it? Exactly, Data. She checked all the marks. She had all the little boxes properly filled for this administration to be concerned about her. Where poor Paul Whelan, he doesn't have any of the proper boxes check marked. He's got all the boxes check marked to prevent this government to be concerned about him. So, you got anything else you want to say, Dar, on this issue?
Nope. I mean, there's probably more to be said, but I think
we're at the point
we beat that dead horse.
Yeah. Not that this isn't a horse I want to beat until it's actually crumbled into dust and not 2 fragments of bone still left visible. This is a horse I'm willing to beat to death. And we'll be revisiting that horse. We'll resurrect this horse because that there's going to be plenty of time to talk about this in the future.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and make keep the tempers rising.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. There you go.
Y'all know how much I like Project Veritas because this isn't the first time I've played one of their videos.
I had our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about queer sex, using lube versus using spit.
Using lube instead of spit. Passing around dildos and butt plugs to high school students. Yes. Well, the school board has shut down all their social media sites.
Meet Joe Bruno, Dean of Students at the prestigious Francis W. Parker Private School in Chicago, which happens to charge $40,000 per student.
They're just passing around dildos, butt plugs. The kids are just playing with them. They're like, how does this butt plug work? How do we do how does this work? That's a really cool part of my job.
Parents might be stunned to learn that Bruno's version of love and acceptance means handing out sex toys to underage students.
So I've been the dean for 4 years. During Pride, we do a Pride Week every year. And I had our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about queer sex, using lube versus using spit.
Who was this?
This is an LGBTQ plus health center came in to talk to my high school students. They're just like passing around dildos, butt plugs. The kids are just playing with them. They're looking at them.
In the school?
In a classroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I normally don't make comments about the way people look because, I mean, I'm not exactly the most physically attractive man in the world. And people's style of dress is the people's style of dress. All right? But come on, dude, if you are the dean of students at a college, at a high school that charges $40,000 a year per student, shouldn't you at least get a little bit more professional haircut than looking like a caricature of a gay man, a caricature of a social justice warrior?
Yep.
I mean, a little bit more of a professional look.
Well, he looks like a weirdo.
He looks like somebody the FBI should be confiscating every computer and book in his house and looking under the floorboards and up on the drop ceilings. You know, because he's got kiddie porn stashed somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, he's got some stuff stashed somewhere that he shouldn't be able to have.
While I'm sitting there, and we had a drag queen come in, pass out cookies and brownies and do.
I wonder what was in those brownies that they passed around. Think about it. If they're willing to pass out dildos, vibrators, and butt plugs, what else do you think they're willing to pass out to these kids?
Photos.
It's so amazing. And everybody's cool with that, like the butt plugs and the dildos. Nobody complains.
No,
I mean, if the parents found out, would they?
no, it's queer sex. This is the drag queen that came in,
What's her name?
Alexis Bevels,
Alexis Bevel.
and just hung out in my classroom,
And was there
or hung out in my office.
Wait
You
a
have
sec-
so
wait a
much
sec-
freedom.
wait a sec- wait a second.
so much?
Look at those fingernails. Are those painted green? Did he paint his fingernails green?
Well, you haven't stopped the video.
Okay, well, it stopped.
All right, so let's go back and take a closer look.
I've got the video paused now.
Yeah, it's green or some weird color. But he has painted fingernails.
Yeah. You're right. All he does need is those sunglasses, the mirrored shades.
Wiggle room.
So much freedom,
Yeah.
so much money
I mean, having
to
lube
do
and
stuff.
trustees are okay with that too? They don't know.
They would. It's like I wouldn't even like.
Wait. The trustees do not know. Did you catch that?
Yep.
Freedom, so much money
I mean, having
to
lube
do
and
stuff.
trustees are okay with that too? They don't know.
They would. It's like I wouldn't even like run it by them. Like, why would I run it by them? They would be like, "Oh my god, that's wonderful."
Like, how old were the kids with the classroom?
14, 18. They're like, how does this?
They're teaching a 14-year-old how to use a butt plug.
Yeah.
They're teaching a 14-year-old how to use a dildo.
That's just gross.
And they're teaching a 14-year-old whether or not to use lube or spit. Yes, Raman, 14 to 18-year-olds. These are minors. This is child abuse. He should be going to jail.
Work? How do we do like? how does this work?
Right.
So yeah, that's a really like cool part of my job is I don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Okay. Whoops.
I had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in.
Now, the Chicago, of course, responded. The school district responded to this. All right. Here we go.
Conference, Project Veritas. We have a statement hot off the press from Dan Frank, principal of the Francis W. Parker School in Highland Park, Chicago. This is in reaction to the latest bombshell report. Hot off the press. Let's see what it says. Will they fire the dean? Will they condemn what he said? No, they're taking an interesting approach here. Listen to this. Last week at the National Association of Independent Schools People of Color Conference, one of our employees was targeted by the group and misled to believe he was conversing with another conference attendee over a coffee. He was filmed without his knowledge or permission while describing one example of our inclusive, affirming, and comprehensive approach to sex education. This group, Project Veritas, has now edited the video with malicious intent. That's interesting. We'll talk about that in a minute. And launched it publicly tonight. Please know this video contains descriptive language. If you choose to view it, we ask you not to share it because it will add to its viral power. So they're saying that we edited it with malicious intent. Literally his words. There are no edits. It's just him talking about dildos and butt plugs and spit and awful things about with 14-year-old girls getting this information. This is, I don't know what, there's no edit. What are they talking about edit? Are they saying he didn't say these things? Then sue me. Sue me. By the way, we never lost a defamation lawsuit. That's because we don't edit anything improperly. Earlier this week, the same group, Veritas, attempted to ambush our employee at the school and was escorted off campus without incident. Well, we have that video coming tomorrow. Your characterization is maliciously edited, by the way, compared to what we actually have on video. It's always interesting how that works. Well, we have no reason to believe there is a threat to the physical security. I work with the Alderman's office and police that's implemented higher security measures. These are underage children being given anal sex toys. Anyway, we're sickened by the group's tactics. The invasion happened. We'll be meeting with middle and upper school students tomorrow to support and guidance. Here's the statement. You'll see it on our Twitter page. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Here's the statement. You'll see it on our Twitter page. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Tactics.
All right, I'm going to pause this here. I want you to, okay, the bottom part of this letter. We are sickened by this group's deceptive tactics, their invasion during a People of Color conference. People of Color conference, a school going to a racist conference. Because think about it. If you had a white people's conference, that automatically be declared racist. But People of Color conference, that's good to go, I guess. And their attack on the LGBTQ plus community. They didn't attack the community. They're attacking a man who brought in dildos and butt plugs and handed them to 14-year-olds. I'm doing the knife hand, Dar. I'm standing here doing
knife hand.
a knife hand.
Angry cops would be proud.
I'm doing a knife hand. And if you don't know what a knife hand is, just go to
Watch Angry Cops on YouTube.
Go any place where they talk about military and look up knife hand. You will see that infamous knife hand.
The knife hand. Yeah, and you don't see that so much in the Navy, but the Army, it's huge. I've seen a few Zoomies do it.
Yeah, we did it in the Air Force. We did that knife hand. Yeah, because sometimes when you're dealing with a 3 level, you really want to, but you just do the knife hand. That's anger management right there.
Yeah,
But
see, in the Navy, we have issues with anger management.
You may have noticed increased police presence outside of the school. Are you people so damned afraid of a camera?
They are.
Are you so afraid of a camera and somebody reporting on what's actually happening within your school that you have the police outside of it? What are you doing that you don't want the parents and the people in the community knowing about? You are a
Yeah.
ah. But as it is, okay. Let's see here. Let me stop sharing that screen because I want to see if they've released their next video on this. No, it's still just the same two videos. And like I said, that school district has now taken down all of their social media. They've blocked it all off. You can't, you can't get anywhere to it. So, okay, CK. Yeah, I posted let me do it again. Yeah, we've only got about another 20 minutes or so, anyhow. Come aboard, sir. Come aboard.
Yeah.
Crooked people hate cameras because it gets them all the nonsense and technicolor. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, not only that, if they were so proud of their efforts and everybody, then they would gladly share it. But that tells you that they're being malicious if they don't want to be recorded. Just saying.
I've had people come in and record me at my job.
Yeah.
All right. And that's fine because I'm on camera 24/7 anyway once I'm walking the door. So I've got no problem being recorded. They think they're going to get me in that gotcha moment. They swear they're going to think they're going to get me in that gotcha moment, being a racist, being a homophobe, being whatever. I don't care. It don't matter to me. You want to come in and spend your money with me as long as you follow the rules. I don't give a damn what you do. As long as you're not tearing my stuff up, There's reasons why we don't touch our sheets with bare hands until they come out of the washer. We glove up when we go back into the laundry room. Oh, CK, I thought you were asking to come on the stream. Okay. But yeah, you want to come to my job and record me all day long? Please do. I welcome you to do it. I'm on camera anyway. I've got nothing. I've got nothing to hide about what I do on my job. Why do these school teachers have something to hide? Why would anybody? And I'm going to be honest with you. If you are paid out of the tax treasury, if you're paid by the tax dollar, everything you do while you're on the job should be recorded anyway.
Pretty much.
And it should be available to the public at no charge. I should not have to go and pay to watch videos of what's going on within the police department, within the fire department, within this educational system. Those cameras should be up and the videos out on the public. We're paying the taxes on this stuff. What's going on in that classroom should be available to the public. Everything. For everything inside that school building. The only part of that school building that should not be available to the public on demand, obviously the bathrooms and changing areas. All right. And private conferences between parent teachers and students and such, where, disciplinary actions and that kind of stuff. Now, the disciplinary report should be public, especially when it involves student on student violence of any kind. I hope you get that cough taken care of there, CK. But yeah. Okay, let's see. This is Thursday. So tomorrow's fun stream. So I will hold off on this markup hearing until next week now. Because, like I said, I really don't want to do another 3-hour stream today. Because I've got to go and meet some people this afternoon. And I need to be able to talk. And my voice is already starting to go. All right. I've got nothing happy to hear this morning. You got anything happy there, Dar? You want anything happy that we can take out?
Anything happy? Yeah, there's lots of happy stuff. I don't know about happy, but on the lighter side of life, I guess, well, not really. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. Right now, same here. I'm drawing a blank right now is what's going on. Yeah. Wait a minute, Rama, wait a second. School bathroom entrances are supposed to be video monitored, but oddly, they lost the entrance or exit time when my daughter was targeted there. Strange, the time she was unattended is at odds. Oh. Pulmonary fibrosis. Eee. That does not sound like fun. All right. Well, I guess we're just going to call this here an hour and a half stream today.
Yeah, that's good.
With over an hour of it being on one thing. Understand. I'm happy. I'm glad anytime anybody can get out of a Russian jail. If you've ever seen the videos on the world's worst prisons, a lot of them are in Russia. Russia is not known for being very humanitarian in their prison system. So, not a very pleasant experience. And if somebody gets out of a Russian jail, usually I'm pretty happy about that, because they've undergone some pretty hellacious conditions. So it's not that I wish that Griner had spent more time in prison. That's not it. It's the situation in whole. From the fact that she knowingly violated Russian law and expected to get away with it, to why she suddenly became this cause celeb. And then the final results, a terrorist, an arms dealer, a man who wanted to kill Americans, a man who will now kill Americans, was released, given his freedom, because the United States felt that somebody who smuggled a minute amount of drugs into another country was worthwhile. That was an equal trade. Didn't even get anybody else out of it. Did not even get anybody else released. Just one person. Somebody who smuggled a minute amount of drugs into Russia. And I say only 9 months. 9 months is a long time when you're in living hell.
Yes,
But left a guy that'd been in Russian custody for 4 years, going on to 5. Left him there.
Yep.
Did not get him released. Their sole intent, that they were so concentrated on getting this woman who check marks all the proper blocks, oppression blocks, released, that they didn't care about anybody else. Anybody else was just gravy, sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone. They were just this. Anybody else would have been sprinkles. Because of course, you want to get that ice cream first, and anything else is just sprinkles. And Paul Whelan was treated as sprinkles to Brittany Griner's ice cream.
No, Paul Whelan's just an afterthought. Okay.
Right.
And the only thing this just highlights that this was totally a political maneuver. And, say, you look at it, how progressive we are and blah, blah, blah. So that kind of tells you where the rest of us stand.
We
It
don't
was
end the stream
totally
now.
political.
We'll go another hour of me just yelling.
Yeah,
about
I'm sorry.
this.
So
No, you're. I'm just saying. This is how angry I am over this whole situation. This is how angry every American should be over this situation. There is. I don't have a college degree. I am not a superbly educated man. I am not a government official. I'm Joe Blow off the street. I'm an angry mushroom. I'm a shroom. All right? I'm about as average of an American as you're going to get. And if I can see the repercussions of this, why didn't the people in our government see these repercussions?
they did. They just didn't care.
Or is it that exactly? They did not care. They're more concerned about scoring political points for today versus what's going to happen 6 months from now.
6 months to a year from now, they don't even care.
Now, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now, unless they've got a goddamn sniper sitting there ready to take this bastard out as soon as he steps off the plane, wherever he lands.
No, that would be cool, but you're not going to see that happen.
But again, that's a movie ending. That's a book ending. That's that Mitch Rapp ending I was talking about earlier. That's not something that's going to happen in real life. That's not a real life ending. Real life ending, a few hundred, maybe a few thousand Americans will die. be blown up. Thousands of people in other countries will die and be blown up, maimed, injured, because this bastard will be out selling his weapons again. So, yeah. Thank you, Joe Biden. You want to talk about, y'all claim that Trump had blood on his hands and George Bush had blood on his hands. Biden, you're not going to have blood on your hands. You're going to be covered from head to toe in other people's blood for what you've done today. The Bible says that only God can damn someone. I think this is the case where somebody's damned themselves. But anyway, people, and I mean this in all seriousness today, all right? And I say it at the end of almost every stream, to be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. I truly mean that. I can't wait for my wife to get home because it's going to take that to get me in a better mood for my wife to get home this afternoon. Because and the thing is, one of the reasons why I'm so angry is because there's not a damn thing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do. I feel I can see what's going to happen, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. There is such a feeling of frustration when you see stuff like this happening. And all you can do is sit there and call your Congress critters, call your Senate your Senate, call your member of the House, call your governor's office. Let them know how you feel about this. Maybe if enough of us call, maybe if enough hell gets raised, something may happen. But it's too late to do anything here. It's too late. This bastard's out on the streets. He'll be on the streets within a week. He'll go home tonight. He'll find someplace settled down. He'll get drunk. He'll get laid. He'll have a little weed to toke or something. And then he'll start plotting. I know it sounds like something out of a Class B spy thriller, out of a Class B or C movie from the 1980s. But that's not what it is, people. This is real life. The problem is we don't have that Schwarzenegger Stallone character coming in to save us all. We don't have a Jack Ryan out there. So then people aren't they don't really exist. But the bad guys really do. So y'all have a good day. Please. And I do mean this. Be with the ones you love. Love the ones that you're with. And enjoy.
Absolutely. And remember, always be yourself. Unless you can be a sailor, then be a sailor.